Hey guys, if you don't know me, my name is Hannah and I'm the student director at the Oregon campus. During the next 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about dating and relationships. I know, cutie's gross. I'm just kidding guys, seriously. But in all seriousness, I know there are some mixed thoughts and feelings about this topic. For some of you, this might be an awesome topic. For others, it might be kind of awkward. And for others, still, it might bring back some tough memories of hurting experiences. For others of you, dating and relationships might not be something you want to do right now, and that is totally okay. You do you. But I think what we're going to talk about today will help you in life, whether you're in a relationship, hope to date in the future, or never ever plan to date. No matter what your experience has been in the past, I want you to know, before we get any further, that you matter not only to us, but matter to Jesus. More than you may ever know. He cares deeply about you in every part of your life, including your relationships. What is dating? Well, for the purposes of this video, we're going to describe dating as being in a relationship where the other person means more to you than just being a good friend. When it comes to dating and relationships, many of us have expectations, hopes, dreams, and desires for our future relationships. Whether we realize it or not, we tend to get a lot of our ideas about relationships and dating from pop culture. That means movies, TV shows, social media, and even celebrities. They can shape our expectations and hopes and dreams about dating in big ways. Often this leads to our hopes and dreams looking a lot more like a fairy tale or a rom-com and a lot less like real life. And while there's nothing wrong with having big expectations and hopes and dreams for a future relationship, the problem is that if we expect our relationships to turn out like a fairy tale, we will most likely, definitely be disappointed. One of the ideas about relationships that has been popularized over the years in pop culture has been the idea of the one. This is the idea that somewhere out there in the world there is the one, and the one and only person for you. And that once you finally find the one, you will finally be complete. And everything will be perfect for your relationship. This is a nice sounding idea in theory, but in reality, if we believe and live out the idea that there's only one perfect person out there for us, someone to complete us, we will end up disappointed. The truth is, there is no perfect people. There are no perfect relationships, and even the most successful relationships in real life are far from our favorite couples we see watching on TV. So, if dating is a relationship where a person means more to us than just a good friend, and there is no just the one perfect person out there for us to find, how exactly are we supposed to date? To find some answers, I want us to look at two different writings. The first is from the book called Proverbs, which is a collection of wise sayings. The second is from a letter entitled 1 Corinthians, which was written by a first century follower of Jesus named Paul to a church in the city of Corinth. Now, nowhere in the Bible is dating specifically mentioned because the concept of dating wasn't really even a thing yet then. However, there are plenty of writings that talk about how to act wisely and how we can go about relationships with other people in a healthy way. The book of Proverbs especially has a lot to say about how important it is for us to gain wisdom and apply it to our lives. And when it comes to dating, I think gaining and applying wisdom is the best way to figure out how to think about someone in a relationship. So, with that in mind, let's check out Proverbs 24:27. Do your planning and prepare your fields before building your house. So what exactly does that have to do with wisdom, dating, and relationships? Well, stay with me here, okay? When it comes to building a house, there is an important process that has to take place first. A good builder knows they can't start building a house without first examining the land they're going to build on, and then putting together a plan for the house. Only after they have prepared and planned and whatnot would they start to actually build the house. Now imagine what might happen if a builder just started building a house without doing any planning or preparation. Well, their house might end up like this one, that fell off a cliff due to a landslide, or like this house, where the garage was built right in front of a giant tree. Not even the best parallel parkers can get in and out of there, all right? Not great planning on the part of those builders. When it comes to building, planning and preparing is hugely important in the success of the house you're building. The same is true in life and in dating. Planning and preparing is so important in our future success. I've heard it said before that if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. In other words, if you don't prepare, you will be less likely to succeed. But if you prepare now, you'll be much more likely to succeed later. So no matter where you are in life right now, whether you are currently dating, not quite allowed to date yet, waiting to date, or just not interested at all, you can prepare now for your future. You can do this by focusing on the type of person you are becoming. Instead of spending a bunch of time trying to find the one, or trying to find someone to date, focus on preparing and getting yourself ready to date. And how do you get yourself ready to date? Well, for a little bit of help, let's take a look at the second writing from the Bible I mentioned earlier, Paul's first letter to the church of Corinth. Here, Paul gives the church a detailed description of what love is and what it looks like to be a loving person. Let's check it out. It says, love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, and is always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. These qualities are all things we would want in a person we're going to date, right? Someone who is patient and kind and isn't jealous or rude, it would be pretty dope, I think. That kind of person would make a great friend and would be a great partner. Now, when we read a list like this of awesome qualities, our tendency might be to start immediately looking for a person who has all of these. But before we start looking for these incredible qualities in someone else, I think we need to focus on becoming that kind of person right now, whether we're dating or not. Today, I want you to reflect on this question. What type of person do you want to become? Are you becoming that kind of person? Are you loving, kind, patient, generous, wise, humble? See, I think we tend to believe that when we meet someone we're interested in, we'll just naturally treat that person well. But the truth is, when it comes to loving someone well and treating someone well, we need to practice. We don't just become patient or kind by accident. So if you want a higher quality of life, whether you're dating someone or not, it is important to focus on becoming these things now. The best part about all of this is that you become so much more than just the one someone is looking for to date. You can become the one who is known for loving everyone well. You become more like Jesus, who is known by his love for others. And that is what Jesus does. He doesn't just change your dating life. He winds up changing everything. Your friendships, your family relationships, your dating relationships. Now trust me, I get it. Some of you have been dating for a long time, but maybe have never thought about it this way before. And I want you to know, it's never too late on becoming that kind of person Paul is talking about. After all, this is a lifelong process and doesn't end when we start dating, or even when we get married. However, if you're not dating someone right now, you're in the perfect position to start focusing on becoming the one until you start dating. But perhaps the best news of all is becoming the one isn't really about dating at all. It's about doing it for you, for the sake of you. Now you're listening to me and thinking, well, that's really great, Hannah, but where the heck do I start? That is a great question. And don't worry, I have some steps to how to start becoming the one. First of all, choose who you want to work on becoming. Look at the list of characteristics that Paul uses to describe love. Which of these would you like to focus on becoming? Which characteristic would you benefit from your life and your relationship the most? Maybe you want to be less jealous or more kind. Whatever it might be for you, choose what you want to start working on becoming, and then practice. You may already be doing this, but if not, give it a shot. Try on being excited for others when good things happen, or try going out of your way to make someone else's day so much better. Start by being quick to forgive so that you don't keep a record of wrongs. Don't expect to do anything perfectly right out of the gate, but do give it a shot. Keep practicing even when you mess up, and over time, you'll wind up becoming more and more like the one Paul is talking about. Someone who loved like Jesus. Finally, repeat. Keep coming back to this process over and over. If you repeat these steps at different points of your life, you'll constantly be growing and becoming more like Paul's definition of love throughout different phases of your life and relationships. Over time, you'll continue moving in the direction of becoming the one. Someone who is known by your love in all areas and not just dating. Okay, so one more time. I can't let you go quite that easy. Think back to Paul's list. Love is patient, it is kind, it's not jealous, it does not demand its way. Wouldn't it be amazing to meet someone who has all of these qualities? Now think about this. What kind of qualities would that person be looking for in you? Who do they want to date? How would they describe what they're looking for in their one? Patient people, kind people, people who put others first and are often attracted to people with those same qualities. And that's the kind of person someone else would want to date. Not a bad bonus. At the same time, even if you're not interested in dating, which is more than okay, you'll still wind up having better relationships with everyone in your life because you are more loving and growing as a person. Practicing patience and kindness alone would have a huge impact in your relationships both today and in the future. So instead of focusing on finding someone or deciding if they're right for you, work on your foundation, because becoming the one is better than finding the one. See ya. Have fun in group.